Alright, so here's how I consistently make $20,000 a month with a micro YouTube channel. So I'm able to do this with 90% margins, like you see on my screen right now, having to do no outreach, which is something that I used to do in the past for my business and I truly hate it, with minimal sales calls. And when I do jump on sales calls, the prospects that I hop on calls are ready to buy. And then overall, it's a business that gives me freedom, which is the main reason that I actually got into business in the first place. So I have a photo here myself snowboarding in Whistler, Canada. Thought you might like this photo. I think it's pretty cool. So I know there's a lot of people online that have or make a lot of claims as to how they make the money. I have a screenshot right here and you can see that this is the last 4 weeks and I've made over $20,000. In fact, I have $26,000 here in profit. So you see that what I'm about to talk to you is making sense and it's something that I've actually done in my business. So with that being said, this video is going to be for small and struggling creators wanting to scale. Now, if you're a complete beginner, this video might not be as valuable to you. This is not like a how to make money online for a complete beginner. So the only requirement is that you have a skill, a product, or a service that helps a person or a business. So this means that you already have a YouTube channel and you're just trying to better monetize, or you might be somebody that is thinking about starting a YouTube channel. You already have a skill, but you're not sure how to monetize it. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes of context before showing you the 6-step system that I used to grow my business to $20,000 a month with a micro YouTube channel. But at the beginning of 2024, this is me right here working remotely my 9 to 5. I remember asking my brother, which is my business partner, can we actually do this or are we full of shit? Talking about the fact that if we were able to actually start a business and be able to quit our jobs. And the reason why is because we tried a bunch of different business models in the past and we had really failed, had no results, which I might talk in a future video. But to give you a little bit more context is at my 9 to 5, I felt like I was wasting my potential. You might feel the same thing right now. I felt micromanaged by my boss because I was the only person working remotely in my team. My boss had the need to call me 4, 5, even 6 times a day. So that was almost like once per hour, just trying to check in. What are you doing? Are you on track? And so on. So it just felt very like I was just being micromanaged and something that I didn't really like at all. At the same time, or more importantly, I felt like I had no control over my time and just no freedom overall. So that's me. The one time that I did go to a Christmas party event for my company, and yeah, I just felt out of place, felt like people were a little bit complacent, just not what I wanted to do in my life. Now, I also, while working a 9 to 5, had my business, and my business specifically was a web design agency. If you don't have a web design agency or you don't plan in starting one, no problem. This video is going to apply for a bunch of other things. As long as you're interested in growing or monetizing a micro YouTube channel, this video will make sense for you. So at my web design agency, I was struggling to get clients and I hated doing outreach, which is something that I hear a lot of people that are coaches, consultants, or even agency owners hate, because it just felt like I was chasing clients, something that I really didn't like at all. The guru advice that I saw out there just didn't work for myself, and there was a lot of things that I tried based on videos that I watched and so on, and I just didn't get that to work for myself. Now I couldn't see a path to scale my business and be able to quit my job. So that's another thing right here. I did have a YouTube channel. It was very small. And the thing is, I was using it to document my journey. I had no sort of strategy or even knowledge that I could monetize or even grow my business from this YouTube channel. Now, at the time, I thought that in order to be able to monetize your channel, you had to be a entertainment channel. So I really like Ryan Trahan stuff right here, but his channel is more like an entertainment type of channel. Or if you are in the education/online business niche, that you had to have lots of followers and sell a course like they are right here. So I just didn't really know how I could monetize or scale my business, my web design agency, with a YouTube channel. Now, all of the things that I was feeling both at my business and while working at 9 to 5 that I hated were things that I was feeling at the time in the beginning of 2024. Fast forward 14 months later, I'm now being able to consistently scale past $20,000 a month. And the thing is, I still remember that the first time that we broke the $10,000 a month, as you can see right here, May 2024, we had $14,000 of net sales. The crazy thing is that I did this with my brother by having less than 14,000 subs. So you see that here in June, I had 1,300 subs in total. So if you add up all of those, it's just 1,400 subs. So with 1,400 subs, we were able to make $14,000. Now the thing is, we didn't have any sort of like viral videos or anything like that. You see that our videos were getting 100 views, 500 views, 600 views, and even this one got 1,000 views, but it wasn't over the course of like 24 hours. It was after 20 days. So you see that it was still a micro YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you how with that little subs, we were still able to break plus $10,000 a month and have been able to do this for the past 14 months. Now, at a quick glance, there's 6 steps. The first is skill. The second one will be unique angle. The third one will be reverse engineer. More detail in just one sec. The fourth one is going to be low ticket. The fifth one is going to be high ticket. And then the sixth one is going to be the flywheel that then powers everything else. I know this is a little bit messy and it's going to make a lot more sense by the end of the video. So step one is that when we were starting to transition our agency from just doing a lot of outreach to post content on YouTube to try to grow it with YouTube, we already had a skill or a service that we were good at. So in our case, we already knew how to build websites, and it's a skill that was valuable in the market, which is why in the beginning of this video I mentioned that if you're a complete beginner with no skills, this video might not make sense or be of value to you. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be web design. It could be if you're already on a 9-to-5 and you're an accountant, you have an accounting skill that you can monetize. Or if you have a small YouTube channel, you might already have a skill, so you can skip past this step. But the key is identifying a skill or a service that you can offer for a consumer, if it's a B2C offer, or to a business, if you're a B2B offer. Once you find a skill, product, a service that you can offer to the marketplace, to a consumer or a business, the next step, which is something that I see a lot of YouTube channels or small business owners miss, is finding a unique angle. So I have this image here that ChatGPT drew for me. He said these 3 guys right here are surfing in this direction while there's a huge wave coming in the other direction. So I know my drawing skills are not the best, but the point that I'm trying to make is even though this guy might not be the best surfer, because there's a wave that is pushing him from behind, all that he really needs to do is have the skill to just stand on his board, and the wave is going to do a lot of the moving. So in our case, a wave could be a market trend or a section of the market that is not being serviced, like a gap, like an opportunity. So by just angling or positioning ourselves in such a way where we're able to capitalize or catch that wave, is going to make it so even with a smaller YouTube channel, we'll be able to better monetize our business. What this means specifically for us is that we were good in web design, but wasn't like web design itself was too broad. We weren't really specialized or found a unique angle. What we did at the time is that we built websites on a software called High Level, which is like a CRM. So we paired up both web design with the fact that we knew how to deliver websites on this platform. And then a common problem that we kept hearing from users using this platform right here was that the websites on this CRM sucked. The web builder was a little bit clunky. So we took the fact that we had web design with the software that we were already building and the fact that there was already a problem in this marketplace, which was that the website sucked. And then we simply position ourselves in this niche to try to solve this one problem for this one market. Now, another example could be if you're a dating coach, you could further specialize, let's say helping women in their 50s. I don't know if that's an angle, but you get the idea. Or if you're that accountant that I was talking about earlier in the video, let's say you're Latino, you live in the US, you could further specialize by helping Latino businesses in the US with their finances. And I'm going to give you some examples in just one sec. Now, this was what allowed us to pretty much have a YouTube channel without any competition. It was a smaller subsection of the niche going after a specific problem. The next step after you've already found your skill, service, or product that you're going to deliver to the marketplace based on something that you already know, something that you're already good at, and you have a unique angle, the next thing that you need to do is reverse engineer a content strategy that attracts buyers, which is something that I see a lot of small businesses or like small YouTube channels trying to monetize do wrong. They simply post videos with the hopes of trying to get buyers, but the type of content that you make need to be very thoughtful, and you really need to put or have a content strategy behind it. So there's a wrong way to do this and a right way to do this. So a wrong way to do this would be to post generic tips with no directions. That really would have not been able to position ourselves in such a way for success. So instead, what we did is that we solved a specific problem for a specific avatar. So in our case, going back to this drawing right here, we were helping somebody that was using High Level, that was building a website on High Level, that had the problem of their website looking ugly or having a website that they thought sucked. Going back to this step right here, the wrong way to do this would be to try and appeal everyone. In our case, we spoke to a specific prospect, and I might make more videos as to how we position ourselves and all that stuff, but the right way to do this would be to speak directly to a specific prospect. The wrong way, which is something that we used to think was the case for a long time, was that my brother and I thought that we had to get a lot of views and have a big YouTube channel in order to be able to monetize. And we found, as I just showed you earlier, that was not the case at all. Instead, there's a difference between getting a viewer and a qualified viewer, and that's now what we're fully focusing on right now. And the right way to do this would be to focus on getting a qualified view and then being able to take that attention into a buyer. Now, there's some other points right here that I want to quickly go over. So a wrong way to do this would be to talk about random things in different videos. So I've seen channels that have, like, in one video they're talking about web design, the next video they're talking about marketing, the next video they're talking about how to use Photoshop. So it's just not coherent at all, and that's going to make it so that you don't really attract a specific prospect with a specific problem. In our case, what we did is we consistently tackled the same problem around one transformation. So it's the same problem, and there's just different perspective to attack that problem. Now, the last mistake that I want to quickly cover is that most people, what they do when they're starting or trying to grow a YouTube channel, monetize a YouTube channel, they see what everyone else is doing in their same niche and they copy the same thing. So that's not the right way to do it, or not at least what we found. We found a lot of success by studying different niches on YouTube, even if they were not in web design or about making money, but completely different niches, and then taking different things from different YouTube channels, kind of like the example that I showed you with Ryan Trahan, and there's specific things that I like about those channels, and then we brought everything that we liked and kind of like gave it our own twist for our own niche. So the right way to do this would be, instead of copying just what everyone else is doing in your same niche, study other niches on YouTube and bring what already works to your own niche and channel. So to give you some examples right here, what we did is we based our channel around a transformation. So our ideal prospect had a website that sucked, it was not good, and then we showed them literally step by step how to build a beautiful website on the CRM, like the platform that we used to build websites, which was High Level. And then we were just showing this transformation from different angles. A few ideas that we did that worked very well for us was this one right here, and then this second one right here. The first one is we use a brand or an idea or a concept that people were already familiar with, in this case Tesla. Whether you like Tesla or not, you can definitely see that they stand out, that they have a strong brand. And then we tried recreating the website of Tesla on this platform. So a prospect or an ideal avatar that was building websites on High Level and thought or really struggled to build a beautiful website would see this video right here, and in the subconscious of their mind, not only would they get value, but at the same time they would also be thinking, wow, if these guys can build Tesla's website on High Level, they can definitely help me build my own website. Now, the second video idea was a step-by-step tutorial with a specific outcome. So instead of just saying, here's a tutorial on building websites, it was become a Go High Level Pro designer in 24 minutes. Some examples, if you're not a web designer, could be like these two that I saw right here. We see that this girl is, the way that she's finding her unique angle and like reverse engineering content is by niching down in calligraphy, but calligraphy would be too broad. So she also did iPad calligraphy, and then she did it on a specific program, so Procreate. So she stacked 3 different categories to find her unique angle. And in this specific video, she's showing people how to learn the 8 basic strokes. So in my case, I have bad calligraphy in my iPad. I might watch this video right after this video. I'm just kidding, but you get the idea. And this guy right here, he seems to be a tax accountant. So if he was just making videos about tax or accounting in general, that would be too broad. He's from the UK, it seems, so he's specialized not only by talking about tax, but also then talking about the UK tax, and not only tax in the UK, but going after a specific problem. So in this video, he's talking about the fact that somebody can avoid paying sales tax or capital gains tax on a UK property. So it's like if somebody was selling their house, they don't want to pay taxes or they want to save some taxes. This video, if they're in the UK, is going to be specific to them. So with these 2 videos right here, these views that they're getting are very qualified. So if they had some sort of product, which I'm going to talk to you in just one sec, would make it so that they would be very easy to convert these viewers into buyers. Now that is step number 3. For step number 2 in my 6-step system is that we drove attention to a productized low ticket offer. I'm going to explain why and exactly how we went about it, but you have your YouTube channel, it's getting a lot of views and attention, and then you offer a low ticket product. This could be something like having an SOP, a checklist, some sort of templates, whether they build on Notion or like some different platforms, pre-built systems like a budgeting tool, meal plan, cheat sheets, and all that stuff. Like Notion boards, AI workflows, a framework that they can copy and paste. And the key here is that it's not a full-on course like an A to C type of thing. It just focuses on a specific problem and its results and outcome based. So let me give you a few ideas. In our case, we sold low ticket website templates, and this could be anywhere from $97 to $997. So depending on what niche you are, the type of prospect that you're trying to help, if it's a business versus a consumer, you might find that you might be able to stick closer to the $997 or more on the lower end, or somewhere in the middle. But it doesn't have to be just website templates. It could also be a book tracking template on Notion, a cheat sheet as I mentioned, or for instance, going back to that example of the dating coach. So let's say that instead of offering a full course on how to get a first date, how to get a kiss, how to go into a relationship and so on, the problem that they solve with this digital product right here would be get more matches with your Tinder or Bumble profile. So this could be, let's say, something that they sell for $97 a month. They focus on a specific demographic with very specific advice. And then the thing right here is that they're solving that specific problem. Let's say somebody does buy this program right here, in my case, that website template. It actually helps them with their business, like set up their website in like 3 clicks. Or in the case of the dating coach, it does help the prospect that bought this product get more matches. Naturally, this is going to make it so that you build more trust by solving a specific problem that your audience faces. And this filters, the cool thing about this is that it filters action takers from people that just want free content and expect a bunch of freebies. And the people that do buy then become highly qualified leads for the next step of this system that I'm going to show you in just one sec. The cool thing about digital products is that, of course, you build them up front and then you can sell them whether it's 1 time, 10 times, or 100 times, like we did in the case of this website templates. We would build a template, then make some videos about it, be able to sell it 1, 10, 100 times, like whatever it may be. And it's cash flow without having to take on client work, which is awesome. So you don't feel like you have to be like still kind of like an employee or freelancer or anything like that, or sales goals. So a lot of times, and I've seen this with other micro YouTube channels, you're gonna find that just with having a productized low ticket offer, something that doesn't demand too much of your services, of your time, is gonna make it so that you can scale to $10,000 to $20,000 a month or beyond. And that's something that we definitely experience in our case. After this though, if you still want to do some handsome client work with clients in a more private setting, what you can do is offer a high ticket done with you or done for you version of your low ticket product. So we have YouTube attention going to a low ticket product, and then we send them, like some of these people will buy, as I mentioned, the $97 to $997 product. Some of these people will end up converting to a higher ticket offer, let's say $2,000 to $5,000. Now the cool thing about this is that, as I mentioned, it could be something that could be $2,000 to $5,000 offer, so it's going to be a higher ticket product. It could be something like a one-on-one or group coaching or consulting if you're a coach or consultant. It could be accountability, and again, the key is that it has to be something that is results or outcome based, so that you're able to charge higher prices and be able to close clients easier. Now, to give you the actual thing that we did for our business is, if you remember earlier, we sold website templates. When we used to sell a website template, we would send a video. And with this video, it showed exactly step by step how to edit this website template so that the business could use it for their own business. But we also had the option like saying, hey, if you're too busy or you don't want to do this yourself, you can let us do the customization of your website. So this was a natural way to get somebody on a call, somebody that had already bought, that already trusted us, that already loved our products and our content, and then get them on a call and sell them on a higher price product. So in our case, this was what our funnel looked like. It was a template customization call, and then we would just implement their business colors, their brand into the website, create new images and that type of stuff specifically for their business. The cool thing about this is, because of the fact that these people had already watched our content, bought something from us, when they were hopping on these calls, they were already pretty much convinced. We didn't have to use any crazy sales tactics or be sales pros in order to close these higher ticket deals. A lot of the times, something that was crazy is that people were just, after they bought their product, they would just email us, and we were able to close these high ticket deals as well without even having to hop on a sales call, like literally over email, which like literally still blows my mind. In the case of, let's say that you're not a web designer, of a coach, Let's say that this coach right here sells the low digital product that helps men in their 20s get more matches on Tinder and on Bumble. This prospect, they don't just want to get a match, they want to be able to land a date with their conversation skills, get into a relationship, and so on. So now from this low ticket offer, they can naturally ascend them to a more personalized offer. So it could be one-on-one services helping this specific individual land more dates, get into a relationship, and this is what it could look like. So ready to let me help you land your next relationship. So naturally ascend them from the low ticket to a higher ticket product. Now other examples could be for the accountant, if they sell a bookkeeping template, naturally ascend some of those businesses to a done for you accounting services where this accountant does their accounting services. Or for an online fitness coach, upsell from a cheap meal plan cheat sheet to then a custom fitness program. Now in this case you may be wondering, if they already bought my low ticket, why would they choose to buy the high ticket? Well, again, because they've already achieved, well, the thing is, because the digital product that you already offer to them helped them solve a specific problem, they trust you, they already know that your stuff is good, the likelihood that if they're interested in your higher ticket offer and they want to get more from you and they hop on a call and they close is higher. Now the cool thing is, because you already have that income coming from the low ticket, you can be a little bit more picky as to who you choose to work with the high ticket offer, who you choose to give your time, who you actually choose to work with. So that's something that we found as well. Not only you can choose and only work with clients that you love, but be a little bit more picky as to who you choose to take in, because you already have a low ticket that is bringing you cash, because you already have a low ticket that drives revenue to your business. Now the last step of the 6-step system is what makes this beautiful and kind of like a self-sustaining flywheel. For the last step, what you're gonna do is use client work, conversations that you have with clients, YouTube comments. Let's say you're on a sales call and people keep asking you the same questions. What you're gonna do is use of all of that client work and info and then feed the content loop. So make more videos about it. So pretty much it becomes like a self-sustaining funnel. So what you do is take the client questions, feedback, wins, and then turn all of this into more content ideas for your videos, for your channel. And what this looks like on action is kind of like this. You make targeted content for your ideal prospect. Some of the audience ends up buying your low ticket product that helps them drive a specific outcome. It's a productized version of your services, no fulfillment on your end with 90+% margins. Some of the people that buy the low ticket go and ascend themselves to the high ticket offer. Now what you do afterwards is you take some of the wins, the client stories, the feedback, the questions that they have from both your high ticket, your low ticket, and even your YouTube, let's say, comments and all that stuff, and then use all of that client questions, feedback, wins, and stories to then create more content that is targeted to your ideal prospect. So you can see how this kind of like feeds on itself. The more clients that you bring, the more content that you're able to make, and kind of like it just feeds on itself, which is exactly like we did about 14 months ago and have done since, and allowed us to start hitting $10,000-$20,000 a month and beyond while not having that many views on a very hyper targeted niche, be able to quit my 9 to 5 and have a business that gives me more freedom. So that is exactly how I consistently make $20,000 a month profit with a micro YouTube channel. Now, if you're a small or struggling creator that wants to better monetize their YouTube channel, be able to grow a business with a micro YouTube channel, you can check the link in the description. I'd be excited to talk with you and help you with your business.